perfect timing on your part because we have a Fed meeting that is getting underway. What are your expectations coming out of this meeting? What might the Fed say or do?
Well, they sort of told us what they're going to do. They've been telling us what they're going to do for months, and they're now going to do it. We are tapering. So we started at 85 billion, went 75, 65, and so forth. We're at 35. We're going to go to 25. By October, the Fed quantitative easing, QE 3 or 4, depending on which way you want to measure it, will be over. The balance sheet will stop growing through these additional purchases of federally backed paper. It will go to neutral. That's coming in autumn to a theater near you.
You have written, though, that the tapering off is essentially tightening. So what do you mean by that?
Well, up until now, the Fed was buying more net new federally issued securities than the federal government was creating. The Fed was buying 85 billion a month. That's $1 trillion a year. The federal deficit was shrinking, so there were points in which at an annualized run rate, the Fed was buying more than the government was creating net. That is now changing. The deficit is shrinking. That's what's key here. We're down to between 400 and 500 billion, and the number seems to be falling or leveling off. And the Fed is now going to zero net new purchases. So for the first time, the Fed will not absorb the issuance that the federal government is creating. It's going to have to go back to the private market.